Alex Donovan had always liked simple jobs. Fixing things, figuring out problems, and leaving when the work was done. It was a quiet life, and he liked it that way. But when the message came through his terminal that evening, he felt a strange twinge of curiosity. The message was short and to the point. Garage light flickering. Need repair? Come tonight. Dr. Alara Voss. Dr. Alara Voss. That name rang a bell. She was a brilliant inventor, famous in scientific circles for creating advanced energy systems. But she lived on the edge of the city, in a remote orbital research station that few technicians ever visited. Most people didn't get the chance to see her inventions, let alone touch them. Alex hesitated only a moment. He was tired from the day, but there was something about her request. Something in the way it was worded. He packed his toolkit carefully, checking each component twice, took the transport lift to the orbital shuttle station. The shuttle ride was quiet, almost eerily so. Stars stretched endlessly outside the window, the black velvet of space dotted with tiny specks of distant light. Alex had always found the silence of space calming. On a day like this, it was almost peaceful, but there was a subtle tension he couldn't shake. When the shuttle docked with the station, Alex was met with the familiar hum of machinery. Orbital stations had a rhythm of their own, the soft pulse of lights, the low vibration of life support systems, and the occasional metallic echo of robotic arms moving in the distance. He adjusted his toolkit strap and walked through the corridors. Following the map Alara had sent, her garage was at the far end, past a series of laboratories and energy cores that hummed with quiet power. As Alex approached, he noticed the light above the garage door flickering faster than a normal faulty bulb. It was almost deliberate. He raised his hand to knock, but the door slid open automatically before he could. Inside, the garage was dim, but he could see complex machinery. Strange devices with glowing panels and what looked like experimental drones resting on the floor. It was more than a garage. It was a workshop of unimaginable scale, even for someone like Alex. And then he saw her. Dr. Alara Voss stood by a large energy generator in the corner. She was smaller than he expected, but there was an intensity in her eyes that made Alex pause. She studied the flickering light as if it were part of some complex calculation only she could understand. "Alex," she said, her voice calm but carrying a weight he couldn't ignore. "Thank you for coming." "Of course, Dr. Voss." The message said a garage light. She gave a faint smile, almost secretive. "Yes, the light. But it's unusual. I think it's more than a simple bulb problem. Can you help me figure it out?" Alex opened his toolkit, taking out a small multi-tool device. "I'll do my best," he said, trying to sound confident. But something in the room made him alert. The air was charged, like static before a storm. He examined the light fixture carefully. On the surface it looked ordinary, but the energy readings were off the charts. "This isn't just a bulb," he muttered, almost to himself. "It's a device." Alara stepped closer, her eyes sharp. "Yes, that's what I feared. It arrived yesterday, with no explanation. I've tried to trace its origin, but the signals are unusual. Not like anything from known human tech." Alex's heart quickened. "Unusual how?" She hesitated, then said softly, "It's alien." The word hit him, and he blinked. Alien. That wasn't something you fixed with a screwdriver or a soldering iron. This was something that could change. Everything humans thought they knew about the universe. He shook himself. "Okay, well, let's take a closer look." As he examined the device, he realized it was more complicated than anything he had worked on before. Tiny circuits glowed in patterns that seemed to shift, almost like they were alive. Sensors in the device detected movement, energy, and even minor gravitational changes. Alex had never seen anything like it. Alara watched him silently. After a long pause, she said, "I need you to stay here tonight." Alex looked up, startled. "Stay, yes?" she said. "I cannot be alone while this thing is active. I don't know what it's capable of. I need someone I can trust nearby. You understand, don't you?" Alex hesitated. He had expected a simple repair job, not a night of guarding an alien device in a high-tech orbital station. But when he looked at her, he saw no fear, only a quiet determination. Somehow he knew that saying no wasn't an option. "I'll stay," he said finally. She nodded and gestured toward a small control panel beside the device. "Help me set up the monitoring system. We need to know exactly what this thing is doing." Together, they worked in the dim light, wires connecting to energy analyzers and sensors. Alex noticed subtle patterns in the flickering light, almost like it was communicating or at least trying to. He mentioned this to Alara. She nodded. "I think you're right. I've seen similar patterns before, in simulations. This device, it's sending signals into deep space. Someone or something is listening." Alex swallowed hard. And if they're listening, they could respond? Ilara's eyes met his, steady and unafraid. "Yes, and that's why we need to be ready. Tonight, we might be the first humans to have contact with something beyond our world." The gravity of the moment settled over Alex like a heavy cloak. He had repaired lights, engines, and even starship engines before, but this was different. This was history in the making, and he was part of it. Hours passed as they monitored the device. Occasionally, the flickering would become more intense, the energy readings spiking unpredictably. Alex found himself on edge, yet fascinated. His mind raced with possibilities. What did it want? Was it a message? A warning? A test? Ilara worked alongside him with quiet precision, adjusting sensors and recording data. Alex noticed how focused she was, how every movement seemed deliberate. There was no panic, only calculation, and he realized that she trusted him completely, not just with the device, but with the safety of the station itself. At one point, the light pulsed in a strange rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. Alex reached out, cautiously touching the device. It was warm, almost alive. He jerked back slightly, surprised. Lara said softly, "It responds to presence, to thought, to intention. That's why I asked you to stay." Alex nodded, still processing everything. This wasn't just a job anymore. He was part of something bigger, something that could change humanity's understanding of life in the universe. Night deepened outside the station. The stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to the events unfolding inside the garage. Alex and Alara continued their vigil, watching the device, documenting every flicker, every pulse, every subtle shift in energy, and then, just before midnight, the light shifted dramatically, casting long shadows across the workshop. Alex froze, feeling a strange vibration in the air. He looked at Alara, who was calm but alert. "It's starting," she whispered. Alex felt a thrill of fear and excitement. Whatever was coming, they would face it together. The night was no longer just about a flickering garage light. It was about the unknown. It's about humans stepping into a universe that was far larger and far stranger than anyone had imagined. And as the light pulsed again, brighter this time, Alex realized that history had just begun. He was right at the center of it. The moment the light pulsed that night, Alex felt a vibration run through the floor. It was subtle at first, like the station itself was breathing, but it grew stronger, more urgent. Alara's eyes never left the device, and Alex followed her gaze. Noticing that the flickering bulb wasn't just light, it was energy flowing, twisting, almost alive. "Stay back a little," Alara said calmly. "We don't know exactly what it can do." Alex nodded and stepped away, his heart pounding. The garage, which had seemed familiar moments ago, now felt like the center of an unknown universe. Strange shadows danced along the walls, cast by the pulsing glow of the device. He couldn't help but feel both awe and fear. "Alex," Ilara said, her voice quiet but firm, "I need you to understand something. This isn't just a signal or a light problem. This device? It's not from our world." Alex blinked. "You mean alien?" She nodded. "Yes, and we don't know why it's here. We don't know who sent it or what they want. But it's active now, and it's waiting for us to respond." Alex swallowed. He had fixed engines, lights, and even navigation systems, but never anything like this. The thought that something truly alien was watching them made him tense. "How do we respond?" he asked, though he feared the answer. Ilara moved closer to the device, her hand hovering over the glowing circuits. "We don't fight it," she said. "We observe, we learn, and we use what makes us human to understand it." Alex frowned. "What makes us human?" "The way we think. The way we solve problems. The way we create, adapt, and react to the unknown," Ilara explained. "Aliens may have technology far beyond us, but they cannot anticipate the unpredictability of a human mind." Alex considered this. He had always relied on his instincts and ingenuity when fixing things. Maybe this was the time those skills mattered more than ever. The device pulsed again, and the shadows it cast seemed to form strange patterns, almost like symbols. Alex leaned closer, trying to make sense of them. Ilara placed a hand on his shoulder. "It's trying to communicate," she said. "Not in words, but in energy. You can feel it, right? That pull?" Alex nodded. The vibration in the floor, the warmth of the device, and the rhythmic flicker of light all combined into a strange, almost hypnotic signal. He realized the device responded not just to presence, but to attention. The more he focused, the stronger the pulse became. Ilara adjusted the sensors, trying to translate the energy into a visual pattern on the monitor. Numbers, symbols, and waves appeared on the screens, complex and alien. "It's a message," she whispered. "But we need to understand it in human terms. That's where we come in." Alex took a deep breath. "So, it's testing us. Or teaching us?" Ilara nodded. "Perhaps both. Humans have a way of solving problems others cannot predict. That's our advantage. That's why I asked you to stay tonight. I need your perspective, your intuition. Together, we might be able to respond in a way the device can understand." Hours passed as they studied the device. Each pulse seemed more deliberate than the last. Alex noticed subtle patterns, repetitions, and changes in intensity. Sometimes it flickered rapidly, as if excited or impatient. Other times it slowed, almost contemplative. "I think it's learning from us," Alex said finally. "Every time we react, it adjusts. Maybe it's trying to figure out if we're ready." Ilara's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Exactly. And that's why we cannot make mistakes. This is our first contact, Alex. We must show them what humans are capable of: calm observation, quick thinking, and creativity." Alex felt a strange pride. He had never thought of himself as important in the grand scheme of the universe. But tonight, he realized he could play a role in something far bigger than himself. Suddenly, the device emitted a sharp pulse, brighter than before. The energy wave knocked over a small tool, sending it clattering across the floor. Alex jumped back instinctively, and Ilara steadied him with a hand on his arm. "Careful," she said. "It's reacting to fear as much as attention. You must stay focused." Alex took a deep breath, forcing himself to calm down. He studied the device again, noticing a new pattern forming in the light. It resembled a spiral, turning slowly, almost like a visual language. He reached out, hesitating only a moment, and touched the glowing surface. The warmth was immediate, comforting in a strange way. "It's connected to us," he said, eyes wide. "It's sensing our presence, our emotions." Ilara nodded. "Yes, that's why I need you here. Alone, I could handle it. But together, we can form a connection. Human connection. That's what it seems to be responding to." Hours turned into night. Outside the garage, the station floated silently above the planet. Stars stretched endlessly, and Alex felt the weight of the universe pressing gently on him. Every pulse of the device felt like a heartbeat, steady and unyielding. Ilara moved closer, her voice low. "Alex, I want to show you something." She led him to a console at the side of the garage, where data from the device had been translating into holographic shapes. The shapes twisted and shifted, forming structures that resembled buildings, landscapes, and even abstract concepts like movement and balance. "It's trying to teach us its language," Ilara said, "or at least communicate in a way it thinks we can understand. Look at this." Alex, "Its geometry, its structure. It's complex, but there's order." Alex studied the holograms carefully. "It's beautiful and strange. I've never seen anything like this." Lara smiled. Neither have I, and yet we can understand it in a way. Our minds are capable of recognizing patterns even when they're unfamiliar. That's our gift. Alex realized she was right. As he observed the shapes, he could see symmetry, balance, and logic even in something completely alien. He felt a strange sense of connection to the device, as if it were a puzzle designed for human minds specifically. Suddenly, the light pulsed again, stronger than ever, and the garage seemed to hum with energy. Alex felt the vibration travel through his body, and he realized the device was no longer just a beacon. It was alive in a way he could feel. Ilara placed a hand on his arm again. It wants a response, not just observation. We have to show it who we are. Alex swallowed hard. How do we do that? We think, she said simply. We create, we adapt. We show it our unpredictability. Alex nodded. He realized that all the skills he had developed as a technician improvising, solving problems, thinking creatively, were exactly what was needed. And in that moment, he understood that humans had something unique to offer in the vastness of space: imagination, ingenuity, and courage as the night deepened. Alex and Ilara worked together, experimenting with responses to the device's pulses. Sometimes they moved objects in patterns. Other times they adjusted the energy fields, always observing how the device reacted. Each response, each action, seemed to teach the device something new, and then, just as dawn approached, the device emitted a final, steady pulse. The flickering stopped. The garage was silent except for the soft hum of the station. Alex felt a thrill of relief and excitement. Ilara looked at him, eyes shining. It has accepted us. We have made contact, Alex, not through fear, not through force, but through understanding. Alex exhaled, feeling a strange mixture of pride and amazement. They had done it, they had reached across the unknown and made a connection. And in that moment he realized something profound. Humanity had a place in the universe. Not because of technology or weapons, but because of creativity, adaptability, and the willingness to face the unknown. The stars outside the garage glimmered like silent witnesses to their achievement. Alex knew that this night was just the beginning. Something vast and mysterious had been revealed, and humans were part of it now. And somewhere deep in the patterns of light, the device seemed to pulse once more, not as a warning, but as a greeting. The morning light spilled across the orbital station, glinting on metal walls and reflecting off the polished floors of Dr. Ilara Voss's garage. Alex Donovan rubbed his eyes, still feeling the energy from the alien device in his veins. Even after hours of sleep, the memory of the pulsing light and strange vibrations made his skin tingle. This was no ordinary night, no ordinary repair job. Humanity had reached a step into the unknown. Ilara was already at the device, her fingers dancing across the console with quiet precision. She looked up as Alex approached. "Good morning," she said with a small smile. "We have a visitor." Alex's stomach tightened. "Visitor?" he asked. She pointed to the main monitor. A shape had appeared in the station's outer sensors, a sleek, silver craft, unlike anything humans had built. It hovered silently in space, its surface reflecting starlight in irregular patterns. No lights, no sounds, just an almost liquid shimmer. "They've arrived," Ilara said softly. The device called them here, or it attracted them. Alex stepped closer, awe and nervousness battling inside him. "And are they hostile?" Ilara shook her head. "I don't know. But we have to be careful. This is first contact. Every move we make now matters." The alien craft moved slowly, almost studying the station. Alex noticed subtle pulses of energy radiating from it, like a heartbeat. The device in the garage reacted immediately, its glow intensifying, sending waves of light across the room. Alex felt a warm vibration under his feet, almost as if the station itself was alive. "They're communicating," Ilara said. "Not with words, but with energy. And our device is responding." Alex swallowed hard. This was bigger than anything he had imagined. He had faced dangerous machinery and unstable systems, but nothing had prepared him for intelligent life beyond Earth. Yet, he also felt a spark of confidence. Humans had a gift that no alien technology could predict: intuition, creativity, and adaptability. We have to show them we're ready, Alara continued. We respond not with fear, but with our ingenuity. They want to see what humans can do. Alex nodded. So, how do we start? Alara gestured toward the device. We mirror them. We respond to their pulses. We create patterns they can understand. It's like a game, except the stakes are the future of our species. Alex took a deep breath and began manipulating the device, adjusting the energy flow and creating responses to the alien pulses. The light flickered and twisted, responding to each adjustment. He noticed that every time he reacted with a creative solution, something unexpected, the pulses changed. The craft outside seemed to adjust its position, almost in acknowledgement. Hours passed like this. Alex and Alara worked side by side, observing and reacting, learning and teaching. They moved objects in precise patterns, adjusted energy fields, and even created small holographic signals based on human logic. Every action, every thought, seemed to communicate their presence and intelligence to the aliens. Suddenly, the alien craft emitted a wave of energy that passed through the station. The lights flickered, instruments spun, and Alex stumbled backward, gripping the edge of a workbench. Alara steadied him. "Focus on calm, not panic," she said. "They're testing us. They want to see how we handle stress." Alex nodded, swallowing his fear. He watched the device carefully, noticing a subtle change in its glow. It was almost as if the device was a bridge between humans and the aliens, interpreting each reaction and sending signals outward. Minutes later, the alien craft emitted another pulse, and the station's sensors recorded a new pattern: geometric shapes, rotating and shifting in space. Alex realized that the aliens were trying to communicate in their own language. But using energy and geometry rather than words, they think in patterns, he said. And they understand patterns. Alara's eyes sparkled with excitement. Exactly. That's our key. Humans are exceptional at recognizing patterns, especially when they're unfamiliar. That's why we can respond effectively. Alex adjusted the device again, this time creating a series of shapes and pulses that mirrored the alien patterns, but with small human variations. The craft outside shimmered, surface reflecting the patterns as if acknowledging the response. "They're impressed," Alara whispered. "They've never encountered a species that reacts this way. We're unpredictable to them, but in a way they can recognize." Alex felt a surge of pride. This was not about weapons or strength. It was about human intelligence, creativity, and courage. They had communicated without words, showing that humans were capable of understanding and responding to the unknown. Suddenly, the device in the garage emitted a bright pulse, filling the room with light. Alex squinted, and when he could see again, he realized that the alien craft had moved closer to the station, stopping just outside the observation window. Its surface shimmered like liquid metal, and Alex could feel the energy radiating from it. "It's beautiful," he whispered. Loren nodded. "And powerful, but not hostile. At least not yet. They're curious. They want to see what we can do." Alex felt a thrill of anticipation. He realized that the aliens were testing not just technology, but humanity itself. They were observing how humans think, solve problems, and react to the unexpected. And humans, Alex knew, excelled at that. Alara said, "We have to take the next step. We have to show them something uniquely humans, something they cannot predict." Alex thought for a moment. He remembered his childhood, building small machines and devices from scraps, always improvising. He realized that ingenuity, the ability to adapt, was the essence of humanity. He turned to Alara. "Let's do it. Let's show them what we can do." He worked quickly, adjusting the device to send a series of unpredictable pulses and patterns. Each one was different, creative, and unexpected. The alien craft responded, moving and shimmering, almost as if it were learning from them. Hours passed in a blur of light and energy. Alex lost track of time, completely absorbed in the challenge. Every pulse, every adjustment. Was a conversation a bridge between humans and the unknown. And then, finally, the alien craft emitted a pulse unlike any before. The energy wave passed through the station, but this time it felt different, not threatening, but acknowledging. Alex and Alara watched as the patterns stabilized, the craft hovering silently, almost peacefully. Near the station, they've accepted us, Alara said softly. Not as threats, not as conquerors, but as equals. For now, Alex felt a strange mixture of relief and exhilaration. They had made first contact not through force, not through technology alone, but through human ingenuity and adaptability. They had communicated with a species far beyond their understanding, accusing creativity and thought as their language. Alara looked at him, eyes shining. This is only the beginning, Alex. Humanity has proven it can think, adapt, and survive. But there is so much more to learn. Alex nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. The universe was vast, filled with unknown life and challenges. But he also felt pride in human ingenuity, in the ability to face the unknown with courage, creativity, and intelligence. The alien craft hovered outside the observation window, its shimmering surface reflecting the station's lights. Alex realized that, in a way, they had been tested, and humans had passed not through weapons, not through aggression, but through the most human quality of all, the ability to think, adapt, and persevere. As the day began outside the station, Alex and Alara continued their observations, documenting every pulse, every response, and every pattern. The alien device in the garage glowed steadily now, no longer flickering. It was a symbol of the first successful bridge between humans and an unknown species. And somewhere in the patterns of light, Alex felt a silent promise. Humanity had taken its first step into a larger universe, and their ingenuity would be the key to survival, understanding, and connection. The stars outside glimmered as silent witnesses, and Alex knew this was only the beginning of something extraordinary. The orbital station hummed quietly as Alex, Donovan, and Dr. Alara Voss moved among the consoles. Still absorbing the reality of their first contact, the alien craft outside remained near the station, its shimmering surface almost liquid in appearance, reflecting every light and shadow within the garage. It was beautiful, mysterious, and intimidating all at once. Alex rubbed his temples. I still can't believe this is happening, he said. We're talking to aliens. For real? Alara smiled faintly. It's hard to believe, yes. But it's also a chance. A chance to show what humans can do, how we adapt, learn, and create solutions under pressure. Alex nodded slowly. So what now? We observe, we learn, and we respond, Alara replied. The device in the garage is a bridge. It translates our actions into energy signals they can understand. But now, they are watching us more closely. They want to see our creativity, our adaptability. Alex looked at the glowing device. It was steady now, no longer flickering, yet somehow more alive than before. Each pulse seemed to carry intelligence, a subtle rhythm that resonated with the station itself. He realized the aliens were not just testing them, they were learning about humanity. Alara gestured toward the monitors. They're sending more complex patterns now. Not just shapes or pulses, but sequences. We have to respond appropriately, in ways that show we can think, improvise, and adapt. Alex leaned forward, studying the signals. They were intricate, like a three-dimensional puzzle made of light and energy. He realized that no amount of calculation alone could solve it. This was about intuition, imagination, and creative problem-solving qualities humans excel at. We need to create something unexpected, Alex said. Something that proves we can respond in ways they can't predict. Alara nodded. Exactly. Let's start small. Use the device to produce subtle variations in energy patterns. Not random, careful, deliberate. Human creativity. Alex adjusted the device, introducing small, irregular pulses that mirrored the alien patterns, but included subtle twists, variations, and interruptions. The alien craft outside shimmered and a wave of energy passed through the station. It was gentle, almost approving. "They're noticing," Alara said softly, "and they're responding. Each human variation teaches them something about our species, our unpredictability, our intelligence." Alex felt a thrill. It was like playing a game on a universal scale, where the stakes were the survival and recognition of humanity itself. Every adjustment, every pulse, every reaction mattered. Hours passed as they experimented. They created sequences that mimicked natural phenomena waves, spirals, and rhythmic pulses reminiscent of wind or flowing water. Each time the alien craft responded, moving slightly closer, changing its shimmer to reflect understanding. Alex laughed softly. "This is incredible. They're learning from us." Alara's eyes sparkled. "And we're learning from them. Humans have the ability to adapt quickly, to find patterns and solutions where others might fail. That's our strength. That's what makes us remarkable in the universe." As night passed, Alex noticed a subtle change. The energy device began to anticipate their actions. Not perfectly, but it started forming pulses slightly ahead of their movements, almost as if it were predicting human creativity. "They're adapting to us," Alex said. "They're learning how we think." Alara nodded. "Exactly. And that's why we have to keep innovating. We must show that humans are not static. They can change, improvise, and solve problems in ways even advanced species cannot predict." Alex smiled. He thought about his past as a technician, about improvising with tools, materials, and ideas in ways that others might not have imagined. Suddenly, it wasn't just a job, it was training. Practice for a challenge bigger than anything he had faced. Alara studied the holographic projections, which now showed dynamic, shifting, geometric patterns. "We can introduce a new level of creativity," she said. "Let's combine patterns, add movement, and introduce variables they won't expect. Show them human ingenuity." Alex adjusted the device, creating a cascade of pulses that intertwined geometric shapes with flowing, irregular patterns. It was complex, beautiful, and unexpected. The alien craft shimmered brighter, then emitted a pulse that traveled through the station, resonating with the device. "They're impressed," Alara whispered. "They've never seen anything like this. We're showing them that humans don't just react, we adapt, we innovate, and we create solutions they cannot anticipate." Alex felt a surge of pride. Humanity's strength was not in raw power or technology alone. It was in imagination, adaptability, and the ability to think under pressure. He realized this was the essence of being human, the quality that could allow them to survive and thrive even in a vast, unknown universe. Suddenly, the alien craft emitted a brighter pulse, and the device in the garage responded by projecting holographic images into the room. The shapes were complex, almost like three-dimensional blueprints, showing structures and patterns Alex had never seen before. "They're teaching us now," Alara said. "Not just testing, but sharing knowledge. They want to see if we can understand and integrate what they give us." Alex studied the projections carefully. Each shape seemed to contain principles of energy, motion, and balance far beyond human engineering. But there was logic in it. By observing, thinking, and experimenting, Alex began to grasp some of the underlying concepts. "It's incredible," he murmured. "We can use this. We can learn from it." Alara smiled. "And that's why humans are remarkable. We adapt. We learn. We survive. And in doing so, we show the universe what we are capable of." Alex realized that the night had shifted from fear and uncertainty to curiosity and discovery. The aliens outside were no longer mysterious threats. They were partners in a silent exchange, testing human potential and offering knowledge in return. Hours turned into a day as Alex and Alara continued to respond to the device and the alien craft. Each pulse, each variation, each experiment strengthened the connection. They began to anticipate the aliens' responses, introducing increasingly complex sequences that blended logic, creativity, and intuition. At one point, the device pulsed in a pattern that almost looked like a heartbeat. Alex reached out and touched it again, feeling the warmth and rhythm. The pulse seemed to sync with his own heartbeat, and for a moment he felt a profound connection not just to the device, but to the aliens observing them. "They're communicating," he said softly. "Not with words, but with understanding. Recognition." Ilara nodded. "Exactly. And that's why they came. They wanted to see if humans could adapt, think, and create. And now we're proving it." As evening approached, the alien craft moved slightly closer to the station, its shimmering surface reflecting the energy patterns from the device. Alex felt a sense of awe. Humanity had been tested, and they had passed not with weapons, not with force, but with creativity, adaptability, and intelligence. Ilara placed a hand on his shoulder. "Alex, look at what we've done. We've shown them that humans are capable of thinking beyond rules, beyond predictability. That's our strength. That's our gift." Alex looked at the glowing device, then at the alien craft outside. He realized that the universe was vast and full of unknown challenges, but humanity had a place in it. They could face the unknown not because they were the strongest, but because they were adaptable, intelligent, and creative. The stars outside the station glimmered silently, witnesses to the first real demonstration of human ingenuity to an alien species. Alex felt a deep sense of pride, not just in himself, but in humanity. They had taken a step into the unknown, and they had done it with courage, creativity, and heart. And somewhere in the patterns of light, he felt a silent acknowledgement. Humans were not just participants in the universe. They were thinkers, creators and survivors. The alien craft shimmered once more, then moved slightly away, as if satisfied with what it had observed. The device in the garage glowed steadily now, no longer flickering, a symbol of the connection that had been established. Alex and Ilara stood together, watching the stars and the alien craft. They knew that this was not the end, but the beginning of something extraordinary. Humanity had proven it could adapt, learn, and create, even in the face of the unknown. And in that moment, Alex felt a sense of purpose he had never known before. The universe was vast, mysterious, and full of possibilities, and humans had shown they could rise to meet them. The orbital station floated silently above the planet, bathed in the soft glow of the stars. Alex Donovan stood beside Dr. Ilara Voss, watching the alien craft shimmer outside the observation window. The air inside the garage was calm, though it buzzed with residual energy from the alien device. Everything felt different now, as if the universe itself had shifted in the past 24 hours. Ilara turned to Alex, her eyes bright with determination. "We've proven ourselves, Alex, but this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. They've seen what humans can do, but the next step is up to us." Alex nodded, his mind racing. "So, what do we do now?" "We show them that humans can innovate, adapt, and cooperate, not just survive, but thrive," Ilara said. "This device and the alien craft are opportunities. They've recognized our potential, but now it's up to us to build on it." Alex studied the device. It was steady now, its light a soft glow rather than the intense flickers of the past nights. But there was a subtle rhythm, a pulse that suggested it was still alive, still watching, still communicating. "They're still learning from us," Alex said. "And we're learning from them. We have to keep this connection active. Show them humans can think beyond predictability, beyond fear." Ilara smiled. "Exactly. And the best way to do that is to create, to solve problems, to demonstrate human ingenuity in real time." Suddenly, the alien craft emitted a pulse that reverberated through the station. The monitors lit up with intricate patterns, faster and more complex than anything they had seen before. Alex felt the energy ripple through the floor, and for a moment, he had to steady himself against the console. "They're communicating again," Ilara whispered. "And this time, it's more direct. They want to see our response immediately." Alex felt a surge of excitement. "So we respond, but how? We've been improvising, adapting. What's next?" Ilara's eyes sparkled. "We innovate. Humans excel when faced with challenges they can't predict. That's our advantage. Let's show them creativity at its fullest." Alex nodded and began adjusting the device. He introduced sequences that combined energy pulses with holographic projections, creating shapes that moved, twisted, and shifted unpredictably. Alara added her expertise, amplifying the patterns and integrating subtle variations that no alien could anticipate. The alien craft shimmered brighter, and for the first time it moved closer to the station, hovering almost within reach. Alex could feel the energy radiating from it, warm and powerful, yet calm. It was as if the craft itself was observing not just their actions, but their intentions. "They're watching us carefully," Alex said. "Every move, every variation. They're learning from us as much as we're learning from them," Lara nodded. "And that's why we keep pushing. The more unpredictable, creative, and deliberate we are, the more they recognize our uniqueness. Humans don't just adapt, they innovate, hours passed in a blur of energy pulses, shifting holograms and responsive patterns." Alex felt a sense of rhythm building between him, Alara, the device, and the alien craft. It was like a conversation without words, a dance of intelligence across species and technology. Then something remarkable happened. The alien craft emitted a series of pulses that formed shapes Alex could recognize, not completely, but fragments of human logic embedded within alien design. It was acknowledgement, recognition, respect. "They understand us," Alex whispered, his voice trembling with awe. "They see what we're capable of." Alara's smile was radiant. "Not just capable, they respect it. We've shown them human ingenuity, our ability to adapt and think creatively. That's what they were waiting for." Alex realized the gravity of the moment. Humanity had been tested, observed, now recognized by an advanced alien species, not as a threat, not as prey, but as equals. The alien craft shimmered once more, and the device in the garage projected a soft, steady glow, symbolizing the successful connection. "We've passed the test," Alex said, almost to himself. "We've proven humans can rise to challenges no one else could." Lara placed a hand on his shoulder. "Yes, Alex, and now it's time to think bigger. This was just a beginning, a demonstration. There's knowledge here, patterns and understanding we can use to advance humanity. We can create new technology, new methods, and even prepare for future contact." Alex's mind raced with possibilities. He thought of the energy patterns, the holographic projections, and the pulses from the alien craft. There was so much to learn, so much to adapt, and so much to explore. For the first time, he felt part of something larger than himself, something that could change the course of human history. Outside, the alien craft shimmered, then slowly moved away from the station, leaving a small device behind. It floated gently toward the garage, guided by the alien energy pulses. Alara caught it carefully, examining its smooth metallic surface. "It's a gift," she said softly. "A token of recognition. They're leaving us something to remember them by and to build from." Alex leaned in, feeling awe once more. "It's beautiful and powerful, but also peaceful. They didn't attack. They didn't harm us. They acknowledged our ingenuity." Lara nodded. "Exactly. And that's what matters. Humanity has proven itself not through violence or dominance, but through creativity, intelligence, and adaptability. That's how we survive. That's how we thrive." Alex smiled, feeling a surge of pride in his species. Humans were not the strongest in the universe, not the fastest, not the most advanced. But they had something unique, something the alien species had never encountered before. Unpredictability combined with intelligence, courage, and creativity. He thought back to the moment he had first entered the garage. Expecting a simple repair job, he had never imagined this would lead to contact with an alien species, or that he would play a role in proving humanity's worth to the cosmos. "Do you think they'll come back?" he asked. Alara studied the small alien device in her hands. "Perhaps, and perhaps they'll bring others. But that's not the point. We've shown them what humans can do. That will matter wherever they go in the universe." Alex looked at the device in the garage, its soft glow, steady and reassuring. He realized that it was more than just a tool. It was a symbol of humanity's potential, of courage in the face of the unknown, and of the ability to adapt and rise above challenges. "We've done something incredible," Alex said quietly. "Something humans will remember forever," Ilara nodded. "And now it's our responsibility to use this knowledge wisely, to advance our technology, to prepare for future challenges, and to continue proving that humanity is remarkable." The stars outside glittered like silent witnesses to the events that had unfolded. Alex felt a deep connection to them, to the universe, and to the alien craft that had recognized humanity's potential. He realized that this was not just the end of a test. It was the beginning of a new era. Humanity had stepped into the wider universe, and they had done so with courage, creativity, and intelligence. They had shown that even in the vastness of space, human ingenuity could shine brighter than any star. Alex and Ilara stood together, watching the small alien device glow steadily on the console. They knew that the universe was full of mysteries, challenges, and opportunities, but humanity was ready. For the first time, Alex felt a sense of true purpose. He was no longer just a technician. He was a representative of humanity, a participant in a larger story that stretched across the stars. And he knew that whatever challenges awaited, humans could face them not with fear, but with ingenuity, courage, and heart. The alien craft shimmered one last time, then slowly disappeared into the vastness of space. The device in the garage pulsed gently, a lasting reminder of the connection that had been made. Alex took a deep breath, looking at Ilara. "We did it," he said. "Yes," she replied, smiling. "And humanity will never be the same." The orbital station floated silently, a beacon of human achievement and ingenuity. Beyond it, the universe stretched endlessly, full of unknown wonders and challenges. But humanity had proven itself capable of reaching beyond, of adapting, and of rising to meet the unknown. A new era had begun, and Alex Donovan knew, with certainty, that humans were ready to step into the stars,